Welcome to another episode of the biggest podcast. We talk to members of the One Bone fam, and a new member of the One Bone fam is sitting to the right of me, to the left of you. I got Chef Ed Porter in the house at One Bone HQ. You may have caught him on Pressure Cooker on Netflix. Amazing show. If you haven't seen the show, highly recommend it. You come across these shows sometimes. Maybe they're, but this one's amazing. Like,
this one stuck. This one stuck.
The vibe is good. The cast is amazing.
Absolutely.
The concept of the show is cool. We'll talk about it more.
Yeah.
We don't have to drop it all in the intro.
Yeah.
And so what's cool about the biggest podcast is we talk about certain triumphs you've gone through, certain struggles you've gone through, a little bit about your career, a little about who you are. And I just want to pull it back for a second and sort of set the scene for how this all went down.
Yeah.
So watching Pressure Cooker with my wife, loving the show. On episode 1, I see two guys that I feel like maybe could benefit from a One Bone t-shirt.
Right.
I see Robbie and I see Ed. And I reach out to both you guys both gentlemen, respond. Cool, yeah, would love to try some gear. You put in the order real quick.
Yeah.
Get it pretty quick.
No, lightning quick.
Lightning
like lightning quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it was from next door.
Literally, like I knocked on your door.
Absolutely.
And you're from where?
I live in Minneapolis.
Okay, and we're from Montreal, Canada. So
next day, really.
We got you.
Yeah.
Amazon, we're coming for you.
Absolutely.
So sent those messages. You tried the stuff. You reached out back to me, and you were basically like, I got to come meet you.
Yeah, I'm a super fan.
Yeah.
Immediately. It was so, alongside the products being amazing, really good vibe. So I'm a vibe person.
Yeah.
And I just had to know about the story. I had to know how One Bone came about. I read everything.
Yeah.
But I had
you did your homework.
Exactly. But I can touch the guy, so why not?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'll come to Montreal.
And so I was very impressed, taken aback, excited, shocked, all these things, because generally we're reaching out to people and this is the way it's gone down. For example, was watching The Blind Side, the movie with like Sandra Bullock, Quentin Aaron. Quentin Aaron's in the movie. I'm like, yo, I got to track this guy down. Sent him a message, and now we've been boys ever since, rocking One Bone. And it was kind of the same thing. And it was like, no, I'm coming to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which for us, because most of our company has survived through the pandemic, we're just over 4 years old.
Right.
So a lot of it was just pandemic.
Yeah.
Which even feels weird to talk about now, honestly. But these kind of experiences and exchanges haven't happened so frequently. So I'm just super pumped. Maybe that's a long-winded intro to sort of set the scene, but I'm super pumped to have you here. You seem like an amazing dude. On the show, in person, even better. So let's dive in. And I just kind of want to know, I saw you on Pressure Cooker, as many did, but how did you get to that point? Where did it start? Where did we get to in the middle? And how did we get to there?
Absolutely. So first and foremost, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
This is amazing. So pretty much how Pressure Cooker came about for me, I've done some TV before. I did Guys Grocery Games a few times, and once you get in the circuit, you get emails, right? You get phone calls from casting directors, and to be honest, I'm one of those guys that if it doesn't fit my specific, I'm not in.
Yeah.
So this one seemed like something I could do. I'm like, you know what? I could do this.
Yeah.
And it was about, I want to say, around Thanksgiving time, not this one that passed, the one before.
Okay.
And so
so it was a while ago.
So we filmed, so when I initially got contacted, but we actually filmed, it's coming up on a year.
That you filmed.
Absolutely.
Right. I guess that makes sense, right? You got to put it all together.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there's editing and all those different things. You know how long it takes to edit one little video.
Yeah, of course.
So
we're doing all this.
Exactly. So imagine, right? So then I got the phone call. I had a couple casting calls. And I get it, TV's the hurry up and wait business.
Yeah, of course.
And then when you get selected, it's like, okay, it's time. We need you in LA or wherever.
It's go time.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what that was. And because of the pandemic and everything that was going on, there was a lot of, sequestering, which AKA lockup.
Yeah.
So I had a bunch of that stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then, what happened took place and the magic was made, and it was a unique situation, and it was an awesome time. It really was.
Yeah.
It really was. Really was.
And okay, so now let's go even further back. So you mentioned you're in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Where are you born?
I'm born in Mount Vernon, New York.
Okay.
So, home of Heavy D.
Okay, let's go.
Exactly.
And the boys.
And the boys. Yeah, all the boys.
Yeah.
P-Rock and down the
Sick.
line. So yeah, born in Mount Vernon. In Mount Vernon Hospital, raised in the Bronx.
Okay.
So I'm a Bronx boy through and through. I traveled and lived everywhere. I used to come up to, like I told you, when you said you was in Montreal, I was like, I'm coming
pumped.
because I haven't been here in 7 years.
Yeah.
7 years. And I used to shoot up here all the time, man.
Yeah.
This is like, the biggest, smallest city.
Accurate.
Yeah,
it's a great way of putting it.
And so, and the people are so cool, and food is bomb.
Yeah.
Like it always has been. It will always remain to be.
I can vouch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I ate like 3 Portuguese tarts on the way over here because I had to stop it.
I forget the name of them, right? But I know what you're
oh
talking
my
about.
goodness. Anyway, so so I live in Minneapolis now, and it's Minneapolis is another great city too.
Yeah.
It's a really cool city, and I had the fortunate ability to open up a restaurant and with Marcus Samuelson. That's how I initially got to Minneapolis. That was in '98, and I was supposed to be there for 2 months. Wanted to be in there for 5 years.
Yeah.
Left there, went to Cali, went to the Bay Area then.
Okay.
And then was there for 11 years, and then went to Houston, and then right before the pandemic, moved back to Minneapolis.
Okay, so you've been pretty nomadic.
Pretty much.
So I know that there's other things that we need to talk about.
Right.
There's sneakers, there's music,
Yeah.
there's a lot of other hats that you wear.
Yeah.
But how did you get into cooking? How did you?
I'm gonna be 100% honest. So cooking, I got into cooking to pay for studio time.
Okay.
So it was not what I set out to do.
Yeah.
It's completely honest.
It was the means to the end.
Absolutely. It was
Yeah.
like, okay, I need to make some paper so I can go to Quad Studios.
Right.
And so it just happened to be something that I took a liking to really fast. I didn't put, the 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
It was just another form of art.
Yeah.
And so once the lineage became apparent to me, and I realized that, oh shit, like all of these things that I love and that I gravitate towards are all art driven.
Okay.
Then it was like, okay, so now I approach
like-
food like music. Everything was,
Yeah.
well, okay, I'm just that.
It's like a Action Bronson kind of.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Hopefully sans injury.
Yeah,
No
yeah,
injury. Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. So okay, so what kind of music?
Hip hop, R&B, hip
Producing?
hop, both, all the above. All the above.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all the above. All the above. So
Are you still working on stuff?
I'm actually about to drop another song in a couple of weeks.
Let's go. What kind of vibe?
Right. This one, so completely different. So, all right. So
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
day.
break it down.
The same day that the pressure cooker dropped.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take you back a little further.
Let's go.
All right. So
We got nothing but time.
yeah. So yeah. I'm moving in.
I'm moving in. Yeah, I already got you.
So on the pressure cooker show in the lounge, I came up with the hook for the pressure cooker song on the show. They never showed it.
Right. Yeah. Because
And
there's
I even
like,
timestamped. I was like, look, remember the day we was in the lounge?
Yeah.
We was all sitting around. I came up with the hook, part of it at least, on the show.
Okay.
Wrapped the show. I got home. I have a studio at the house.
Yeah.
Got in the lab. Finished penning the song, maybe 35 minutes. Recorded it. Mixed it down to the dummy mix.
Yeah.
And then I sent it out to all my castmates first.
Okay.
To see if they, how they
Yeah.
vibe. But they was like, oh, this shit's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I sent it out to a couple producers of the show. And they loved it. So I was like, look, this got to be on the show.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be on the show.
We did not hear it.
Not on the show. Okay, not on the show, but if you follow me, you hear it.
So that's what I heard.
Yeah, if you follow me, you hear it. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yes, everywhere out that I'm in, it is. So it didn't make the cut for one reason or another. Whatever the case may be. So I was talking to the producer, like, when is the show gonna drop? January 6th. Okay, all right.
I'll be ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna be more than ready. I'm gonna be more than ready. So
you're not Rihanna doing the Super Bowl and no new music. She's got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
You got your baby in music.
Exactly. Yeah. So I gave birth the same day. The same day that the pressure cooker dropped, the pressure cooker song dropped.
Okay.
Title the same as that.
Okay, there you go.
And I think it just fits, and then it took on a leg of its own. Right. So there's people that took some visuals of the show, merged the two. I had nothing to do with it.
Right.
You know, I don't want the problems with Netflix. No. I did put it out there. I do pump it as much as possible.
Yeah.
I think it fits though. Like it. So I always tell people. So if you watch the show, actually listen to the song first.
Yeah.
Then watch the show, then go back and re-listen to it. It makes total sense. So it's definitely they're symbiotic.
Okay, cool. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you've gotten
yes. All right. So let's go. Let's go all the way back. So I used to be a part of a couple of groups in my day.
Okay.
And we were
like some R&B type groups?
R&B and hip hop groups both.
Okay.
And we were on the verge of getting to sound like some big stuff. And then like all things,
of course,
when you're young and egos and different things come into play, we disbanded.
Yeah.
But I have a fortunate ability to have two loves that I would do for free. And I'm going to do them regardless.
I'm going to assume food and music?
Absolutely.
Cool, let's go.
And so I'm always going to do them anyway.
Yeah.
And so I was just ready for this situation because I'm always cooking.
You got
whether it's in the studio or I'm always cooking, right? So I'm like, you know what?
The chef in the lab or on the oven,
This is the absolute first time that I've been able to put 100% of my talents laser focused to one goal. And so I'm having the best time right now.
Yeah.
So like I get to do it all. So I get to do, the music and align with the food and just have a blast with it. So I'm just here to having a
amazing
good time, bro.
Okay, so we've figured out a lot of the ups recently.
Right.
Let's talk about the downs because again, I think one of the most important parts about these conversations is knowing that everyone goes through some shit.
Absolutely.
Whether it's personal, whether it's career, whether it's whatever, and what has been unfolding on these shows or these episodes or these hangs literally is just people tracking those moments a little bit and sort of sharing so that people can understand that if they're maybe going through that scenario right now, or they've gone through it and maybe they haven't healed, maybe the way you have, they could sort of learn from that, you know?
Absolutely. I think also too, and this is the curse of social media, right? You always
everything's perfect.
You see the glow up, right?
Exactly.
All you see is the bubble. You don't see.
I didn't come across you until you're on Netflix.
And that's what it is, right? And that's what it is. So it takes 10 years to become overnight success. I don't care what anybody 100%. Says. And so for me, like dream deferred, to be honest. So I was on a path. I was the young guy. I'm not the young guy anymore. I was the youngest guy around in these restaurants and this have knives will travel type of situation. And dream deferred. I had a kid,
right?
Then I had two kids, and then I had to go from working in these fine dining establishments where it wasn't about pay or benefits.
It was about chasing the dream.
Exactly. I had to go for the cushy job with the benefits that paid more because I got kids and I can't.
So what was that job?
So I went to hotels.
Okay.
It's very
you sold out, bro.
I did.
Yeah.
I went to hotels, bro, and I was like,
by the way, there's no such thing as selling out. In my opinion.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you do what you have to do.
Yeah. So that was the route that I had to take. And then I went a step further. I'm like, okay, I gotta, I'm always a firm believer in keep changing your room, right?
Yeah.
If you're the smartest guy in the room,
100%.
Get the hell out and go somewhere else.
Or find smarter people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so then I went corporate, food and beverage director, corporate chef, things of that nature. So I kept doing those things and all with the intent to purpose to gain a set of knowledge and skills that I could always utilize.
Yeah.
You know, and because there's a lot of more. That's another thing about this business. So the culinary industry is not a one-trick pony.
No.
Everybody thinks that, you know, because now celebrity chefs, right? So
yeah, it's such a fantasy world now.
Right. It's so many ways to earn a living in this business. Like same thing with music too, or in any other industry. If you really
Yeah, of course.
it is not so much. You don't have to.
I guess, like the paramount here that we're talking about is like a creative industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I think, you know, you get the hilt, right, if you will, the grandiose idea of okay, being that guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Getting to the point where the bubble might pop and like you just turn into the fucking biggest chef that's ever existed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I was never one of those, I didn't do this or get into this for that.
Yeah.
It was never about that for me.
Yeah.
Fringe benefits or a product of whatever is going on,
of course.
that's fine. But
I think if you're just in it for the fame and the fortune, then it's probably not going to work out.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely,
Yeah.
because the new car scent wears off.
Yeah,
and
exactly. And then it starts smelling shit.
Yeah, exactly. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, it's more so about, you know, doing shit that I love. I'm not the spring chicken anymore, right? So I don't fuck with shit that I don't love.
You gotta love it.
Not like it.
Yeah, no,
with shit that I
love.
don't love.
Yeah.
If I don't love it, I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Yeah.
So like even with the show, like I wasn't really. It wasn't about the money for me. It wasn't about the bread. Can we use the extra $100K?
Yeah.
Who cares? Yeah. You know, I went in that house with over $100K worth of shoot.
Yeah. Exactly. Same boat. Yeah. I know.
So it was like for me, it was about that. I'm playing golf.
Yeah.
So I'm playing against myself.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even about the ops either. So it was like, okay, if I do what I know I can do, I should be okay.
Yeah.
And play the game with integrity.
Yeah.
Meet some cool ass people. Doing it. That's the other thing for me. And let's just see if I still got it. That's really what it was about, to be honest. Because dream deferred.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got it.
So I dream deferred, and that was more of a thing. And then I had, my kids now are old enough to see. I always talk that, hey, listen, if you love something, you want to do it, chase your dreams, right? So who am I? Dad has to show and prove.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always, it's interesting you put it as dream deferred because I've gone through all these like kind of hurdles and now here we are as well. And the way I have always like situationalized it or put a perspective on it is at every juncture, the portrait of success changes.
Absolutely.
So, when we're in our 20s and we're chasing the dream and we're not being paid, but you're doing the things that you would do for free no matter what,
right.
And you're like taking the hits to try and like make it to the next level, well, that's the portrait of success at that moment. But then you achieve a certain level of whatever that is, and then you maybe have a kid.
Right.
Or something else comes into your life, et cetera, et cetera. And then all of a sudden you have to go through this opportunity where you change your portrait of success or the portrait of success changes you.
Absolutely.
And so it's interesting that like here we are and, it's a short and long conversation because obviously in those years there's a million different stories that replace and it's just, again, it's just crazy to know and see that like you have these ideas and for the younger cats that are listening and the guys that have been through it already, you either can take that as like advice and just like an understanding and awareness,
right.
Or you know exactly what we're talking about because you can't gain experience without the portraits of success changing.
Yeah, and like I think the key thing that you just said that resonated with me just now, and I never really thought about it this way. That portrait of success can change you, right? And so in a manner in which you never even expected.
Yeah.
So now the flag is moved because that's just no longer important.
Exactly. the flag there that was everything
is no longer.
It doesn't matter.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, of course, bro. Absolutely. For me, so the way One Bone all started is I was touring as a DJ and I was putting on shows and telling people to put their hands up in the air on stage and my whole belly was showing. So I went custom made t-shirts, and then my partners now, family friends, they saw I was wearing a shirt. They were like, oh, that looks sick. Where'd you get it? Made it myself. Call me tomorrow. Boom, rest is history. But at that time when I was DJing, success for me was only performing in front of hundreds of thousands of people. Right. If I didn't achieve that, then I wasn't successful.
Absolutely.
And now here I am, mid-30s, father of 2 daughters, you know, with a wife.
Girl dad.
Yeah, girl dad.
Okay, so
And we're fresh. My daughter, my newest daughter is 7 weeks old. So,
okay, you've been busy.
Yeah, I've been busy.
Okay,
I've been busy. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Yeah. But so, like now, the concept of performing in front of hundreds of thousands of people, like you said, the flag doesn't even exist anymore.
Absolutely.
It's the focus, it's being close to home, it's all of these things, right? So it's just, it's crazy. It's crazy to hear your story as well. You mentioned the sneaker collection.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Where did it start for you? I mean, I guess it started in Boogie Down.
I'm gonna be because like my earliest memories of like sneakers and just like wanting to like, okay, this was just dope. So I remember specifically the first time I saw a pair of Pumas, the low top Pumas, suede, all suede. I believe they were maroon and white with the white Puma sign.
Yeah, of course.
White sole and fat laces.
Yeah.
And I was like,
clean white laces.
Then I just started seeing them in all colors. I'm like,
I need all.
I gotta have all the colors, right? And so my love affair with shoes was like, you can change the shoes and I have a whole new fit.
Yeah.
And so just the fact of the different textures and it's hard to. It's a lot like.
Well, it's art, man.
It's definitely so.
It's art.
It's wearable art.
Yeah.
And to the point to where. Like, I'm that guy that's gonna avoid all the wet shit and puddles. Like, I'll walk around 3 blocks.
And then you go home and clean them.
Clean the bottom
of
and
course.
and put them. So, I mean, I just love. There's worse things I can be obsessed with.
Agreed.
You know. So, but I just love. And I'm not. And by no means, I'm not a flipper. This is all for personal consumption.
I don't think I've resold a single pair of shoes.
Personal consumption only. I have a vice, and I understand it.
So my love for sneakers started, and I have probably like 200 pairs of sneakers, probably like 60 to 70 on ice.
Yeah.
Not to resell, just because it's art to me. It's like, you mentioned wearable art, but it's even gotten to the point where like, all my J's are less comfortable than the shoes that I want to be wearing.
Let's be completely honest.
You know,
there's a lot of the J's.
Yeah.
They're not meant to be wearing around.
Exactly. So they're in the boxes until like I've got an office maybe where I put them all as art. But where for me it started was, funny enough, in university, which university for me didn't work out.
Right.
I got there, it was like prison to me. It was like the stadium seating and the textbooks and just
everything
wasn't
about
for me.
it. Yeah, everything about it.
I'm a creative, so
absolutely.
In that format, it just didn't work. And funny enough, I was in sociology, and one of the sub-societies that the teacher was talking about was sneaker culture.
Wow.
And just from there, it just like, oh my God, this concept of these pieces of shoes that I love, I didn't realize that there was like a community behind it.
Yeah.
And so it kind of like comes back to the One Bone thing where we were just doing our thing, making a few t-shirts. We didn't realize the kind of community that could be built.
Absolutely.
On just feeling more comfortable and confident in our daily life.
The thought of one guy. Right? Resonates with the world.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing.
So it's crazy. And the concept of sneakers for me also, again, being a bigger fella, that you go 50 pounds this way and you go 50 pounds that way, your sneakers still fit, And that's why as bigger men, I think a lot of us accessorize, right? Hats, glasses, watches, shoes, because if you're changing size, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Were you always, I mean, you're not even that big a guy.
Nah, so like, let's be honest. I've been on.
It's cause that's why we're big and all, you know?
You know,
so
okay, but no, let's not listen. I've been on a Ben and Jerry's diet for a while.
okay.
And so, yeah, man, I was never. I remember there was a time where I couldn't gain weight to save my life.
Okay,
like the metabolism was right. Yeah. I was every bit of 165 for years.
Yeah,
like 32 slim.
Yeah, okay.
And then shit changed.
You had a kid.
Yeah. And then I also I had a back injury.
Okay.
And so like literally when I said the Ben and Jerry's diet, I like meant that shit.
Yeah.
2 pounds, 2 pints a day. I was eating. So
it's pretty impressive how easily we could go through, right? Yeah.
And so when your story resonated with me as far as I understand and what this is like, feeling comfortable. I don't care wherever you are, whoever you are. It's something about feeling
whatever
comfortable.
Color, whatever size,
right.
whatever.
And a garment is something as simple as just a T-shirt. For it to have that much of an impact on just your overall feeling, like at layer one. So this is why it's important. At layer one, like, you know what? Damn, I feel fucking good about this.
Yeah.
That to me resonated 100%. Specifically, somebody that's maybe. First off, everybody has insecurities. If you stop it. If you're out here, we all got something. It's your left toe. Something's up with you.
How'd you know? Bro, the space between my big toe and my medium toe, I have like, you could fit another toe there. And it's like, I'm wearing open toe flip-flops and I feel very insecure. I'm a big man, I'm wearing my clothes, I feel good. Mm-hmm. I'm wearing open toe flip-flops, I'm like, ooh, who sees that space between my toe? Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody sees it.
Nobody's
but it's so funny.
You're bringing too much attention to it.
Yeah, you're right. I don't have the space.
No,
I'm just playing.
But no, like being able to take that power back, you know what I'm saying, is huge.
I know exactly what you're saying, and it's the reason why on the inside of every one of our shirts it says the biggest.
Yeah.
Because the intention behind One Bone is to take back the power of, growing up. And again, you can't even really relate because you were skinny.
Yeah.
Growing up. But for me, growing up, and for many in our One Bone fam, you're growing up and it's kind of a negative thing to be the biggest.
Right.
And now here we are, grown, feeling good, feeling comfortable, feeling confident. Let's take that word back.
Absolutely.
Let's, being the biggest in other elements is a very good thing.
Absolutely.
So, that's the idea. Bring back the power to a word that might have been an insecurity before. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what size you are, whether you are the slimmest or the biggest, we should all feel like the biggest. It should
absolutely.
It should be an ownership of a feeling, of a sentiment. You know what I mean?
Another thing I have to give you your flowers too. So like everything about One Bone is super duper intentional. And so as a chef, it's the stuff I look for.
Yeah.
Because it's everything I do is intentional, whether somebody gets it or not. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So even something that insignificant, which people would think it is, it's not. It's all intentional. So why One Bone?
So why One Bone? A few reasons. Number one is because as a big man growing up or a big kid, you never felt like number one. You never felt like you came first.
Right.
And so the whole, mission statement behind One Bone is that the big guy is taking into consideration first.
Gotcha.
They're number one. And everyone else is included.
Right.
Originally, it was just big and tall. It was just double XL to like 5XL, and now we range from medium to 8XL, and our sizing's different. It's -2 to size 7. Absolutely. And the reason for all of this is to include everyone, because we felt excluded, right? Walking through the mall, trying to find a shirt that fits, impossible, still impossible. And that's what we're trying to change. But so we figured we would take care of the excluded first and include as
everybody
well.
Else. Right.
So that's one. Bone is just like the strongest human organic kind of thing that we could think of.
Right.
So it's one bone. And then the cool thing is that the ones are mirrored by the B, right? So it's 1B1, and it's to motivate you to look in the mirror, feel comfortable and confident about who is looking in that mirror. Then it gets deeper. It's be one, meaning be yourself.
Right.
We're a community of individuals. Every one piece coming together makes the community stronger.
Right.
And then there's even more. It's one by one, right? Where it's brick by brick. Like you said,
absolutely.
An overnight success takes 10 years. That's the concept of one bone. It's nothing you're going to do is just going to,
Yeah, it doesn't happen now.
So it's small changes have the biggest impact. So one by one, you make little incremental changes to your daily life, to being a better partner, whether it be in business, whether it be personal, whether it be a father, whether it be whatever you're trying to be better at. If you go one by one, then in a year, you'll have 365 changes that you've made.
And sustainable change.
Exactly. Right. Not just stuff that you're going to put in overnight and then it's going to fly into the wind.
Right. There's no magic pill. Right.
Exactly. And so then the biggest, and then you may have seen like on our hang tags and stuff, it's big and all, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where the T is squiggled out. And what we've done is we've even pulled that squiggle out as its own kind of logo. We put it onto our winter jacket and we're sort of explaining that. Man, I could keep going for days, but
again, you just proved my point.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. So again, the squiggle, it crosses out the T in big and tall, therefore implying big and all. So the squiggle represents inclusion.
Absolutely.
So, and as a young brand, we're trying to figure out how do we start to communicate these messages. And it's part of this is in conversation like this. It's branding, it's marketing, and it's tying it all together.
It's also all important though, because the visuals, first and foremost, like story aside. So the story is amazing. Okay,
yeah.
Right. But then you
put it on.
Listen. Look, so I don't know if y'all can. You can't feel this shit, but
you do if you have it at home.
Yeah, if you have one of these, this like everything that I've had that is one bone. It's all so it all feels it's
even the
nothing
t-shirt.
Even a t-shirt.
Talk to me about the white t-shirt because on Pressure Cooker you were rocking a white t-shirt the whole time.
Very much religiously.
Yeah, which is crazy by the way. Also in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's a form of dominance. Yeah. So yeah. So
that's like I got this.
And the kicks are not getting dirty.
Yeah.
Like I was pristine the whole time. But. So there is something to be said for this. I don't know what this. It's got to be proprietary. It better be. But this the material, how it feels, the give and take of it all, and it feels. I don't want to use the word compression because you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. But it's just a bomb ass shirt. I really it's hard to explain, and they all fit that way.
It's crazy because a lot of the time we have people that. Have seen our ads on Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. And they'll be like hovering around for like, a few months, 6 months, whatever. They'll pull the trigger and they'll send us a message the next day because they get it so fast. And they'll be like, man, I can't believe I slept on you guys for this long.
I wasted so much time.
Yeah, because again, like it comes down to a t-shirt, but really like what we have changed in the t-shirt. Again, small changes, biggest impact. So sleeves.
Huge one.
Yeah. So normally if you're buying like a bigger shirt, the sleeves are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, be super droopy and make you look bigger than you are.
Right.
So we've tightened up the sleeves, shortened up the sleeves, leave a little more room in the belly. We've gone longer on all of our shirts because what we've learned is that for the big men, obviously necessary to cover up. Like even the fact that I'm sitting here on a chair, and it goes into like date night or working at the office or whatever. The fact that I am here sitting on a chair and my ass crack is not showing. Like you talk about comfort and confidence.
Right.
There you go.
Absolutely.
You just protected that insecurity. So it goes into that. And then what's really cool is yesterday we had a photo shoot for some new products and what's your height?
5'9".
Okay. You are wearing the same size shirt as somebody who came in yesterday. They are 7 feet tall.
That's crazy.
Clean.
That's crazy.
And it looks just as good on you as it does on him. And so the concept of that big and all, of that inclusion.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Another thing I'll say.
Talk to me.
So like the cut of the shirt.
Yeah.
So like the how okay, so everybody knows t-shirts, I don't care. You can go designer brands to the $300 t-shirts. The bottoms give out.
Yeah.
Like eventually they're
they end up wavy or they end up way shorter than they were in the first place. Yeah.
How these are constructed and it's sort of contoured, but it's purposeful for how it drops and how it lays. And then I don't know. This just it's just amazing.
No, you're bringing it. So the reason for that is because what we found is the straight cut across, especially the bigger you are, the boxier you look, and it's just that little bit of definition where it looks. If you're looking at the shirt from the front, depending on what our cut is, like we have a scoop or we have a high low or whatever, but it looks like a straight cut shirt. And then when you get to the side, that little bit of definition for a bigger man and it just adds a little bit where it cuts the waist. And it just, what we've been told is like, it just feels a bit more slimming and, the whole thing.
By far, listen, and I'm also, along with the sneakers and everything, I'm a connoisseur of clothes as well.
Yes,
I just like to look good. I feel good, right? So that's the whole thing. So you guys have bottled lightning, like in a major way, like seriously. And I'm just ecstatic to be, a witness to all of this stuff happening. I guarantee you, if anybody out there, if you can mark this down, whenever this goes, that One Bone will be a household name. We can speak that into reality because there's by no means any reason why it shouldn't be.
Let's go.
Because of what it does, who it is, who you guys are, what you represent, and it's all so inclusive, which is what it's all supposed to be anyway. Art is supposed to be shared, right?
Yeah.
And so we talk about wearable art, right? It's about wearable art, to be honest.
We're doing it.
We're doing it, exactly. So, man, listen, I'm ecstatic for you.
You mentioned giving flowers, and I'd like to take an opportunity to give you flowers because, again, it comes back to watching like 15 minutes of episode 1, and you were on the big stage, right? And it was Netflix and the whole thing. And like, that's all cool. But there are people on shows that you're like, nah, that guy's not a vibe.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like I said, I mentioned you and I mentioned Robbie because both of you guys out of the gates, it was like, there's no games, you have that OG status on the show that like, if you're not a good vibe, then that's a problem.
Right.
But I didn't know anything about where the show was going. It was just like, no, these are good dudes. And so that is reflected in you even being here right now is crazy to me. And just again, like, I keep saying life's too short to not be a good vibe.
Right.
And you guys were the embodiment of that. And so whatever you have done, from dreams deferred to being a father, to being in the hotels, to being in the lab in the music, again, there's so much to be spoken about, and I'm excited for episode 2 whenever that happens.
Absolutely.
It's just, so you're an amazing role model, and that's where the flowers come in, because I don't care if you're on a big stage or whatever, you could look like a prick. You could not be a good role model in a pressure cooker scenario.
Absolutely.
Your true colors show, and your true colors are fucking beautiful. And I appreciate you being a role model for me in watching that show and how to conduct that, and a role model for so many. The show's popping.
Yeah, the show's
popping, my dude.
Thank you.
You are like, and it's hard to take the flowers, but you are a role model for so many that you now probably realize a little bit, but the scope of it is just massive.
Thank you so much. Like, I had to be completely honest. I've gotten so many messages from all over the world. So Netflix is a different animal. I've done network TV.
Yeah.
Netflix is global. I gotta hit the translate button.
Of course.
I gotta, so it's the amount of of people that have contacted me as far as being an inspiration to them in some way or shape or form, I couldn't fathom the impact that. And I just, again, 1,000,000% myself.
Yeah,
It wasn't,
but again,
no
that was
fluff,
evident.
Right, no fluff, and even down to, showing emotion. Like, I'm just that, listen, I wear my heart on my sleeve 100% of the time.
Now, at least you have a good-looking sleeve.
I have a hell of a sleeve. Like the sleeves are popping. Let's get the sleeve.
Get the sleeves
are popping.
Yeah.
But it's really a testament to, being one.
You're trying to tie it in. You're trying to tie it in.
Being one was it really is. It all. What you said and
being one with yourself.
Being one with yourself and just being 100% unapologetic about it. That shit never goes out of style.
Yeah, man. Amen. Honestly, this was an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
You're a beauty. People want to watch the show, Netflix, Pressure Cooker. They want to find you.
Yeah, so on Instagram, Chef Ed Porter, on Twitter and on TikTok, the Chef Ed Porter. I locked myself out of my own accounts. And then go ahead and stream the song Pressure Cooker. It's on all streaming platforms, anywhere you can find it, and also hit me up on Spotify for new stuff that's coming out.
Let's go.
And you can check me out at One Bone. One Bone. I look at One Bone is by far, I'm telling you, like this right here.
Yeah.
This is my new uniform and it has a pocket too.
It's got inside pockets too. You throw your passport on the other side, if you're traveling, whatever. And to speak on that, Ed is rocking the trench hoodie, which is pretty much sold out, but we're gonna have it coming back in the fall.
So I saw this online, right?
Yeah,
and it was sold out.
Yeah,
so when
exactly.
I said it was sold out, and the dude on the picture looks so suave.
Wow. And now you do too. And then you got simple, clean white V-neck on.
Yep.
It's cool to be talking about it because a lot of people are sometimes hesitant with a V-neck. Maybe it's too deep or whatever. We went real short and tight on it. I'm rocking a brand new Volcano tie-dye, which depending on when you're seeing this, may be gone already, so jump. Right. And I've got on our Everywhere pants, which are sold out as well. But we're working on V2, and V2 is gonna be sick. OneBone.com on everything, One Bone brand on all socials. Thank you for hanging out with us. This is a major vibe. This is the biggest podcast. Peace.
Peace out.